Well, America loves Shannon Sharpe. They love Skip Bayless. They love them together. But America, sorry to break your heart, but Shannon Sharpe is leaving FS1's Undisputed. Dun, 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 dun. Told y'all. Shannon Sharpe's partnership, let me do my job first, with Skip Bayless will be coming to an end soon. Sharpe and Fox Sports, the parent company of FS1, which airs Undisputed, have reached a buyout agreement. You know what that means? You still got time and money on your contract. So for you to sever the relationship, for you to interrupt the terms of that, we come to an agreement. And I will give you some of that money and you're going to give me some of that time back, right? And that's where they are. That's a buyout. All right. So Sharpe's final show is expected to be aired after the NBA finals conclude in June. Now, I am interested in seeing how these ratings gonna look from now until the end of June, because you know when you're going somewhere but you're not gone, your mind is already in the parking lot or on the private plane to your next destination, but the body is still here. And one thing about the human experience, you can't lie to yourself. That's why detectives always solve the crime, right? That's why thieves and robbers and criminals always telling themselves, because you're lying. And boy, it's gonna be funny to watch a month of two dudes lying about that they still cool, because you know they ain't. That's gonna be interesting. I might have to tune in. All right, so Sharpe's popular Club Shay Shay podcast, which draws that big old gigantic audience on social media, on YouTube, will also be leaving Fox Sports, a source said. Let's stop here. Remember I told you guys that Club Shay Shay at one time did not, well, Shannon Sharpe didn't own Club Shay Shay. That's a Fox Sports thing, right? Now you get a rev share deal and they'll give you some percentages of it, but in totality, it was owned by them. You're doing the work for them and they'll just chip you off as it grows. Well, you remember in his last deal, or I told you maybe a month or two ago, that Shannon went upstairs and said, look, I got to get a higher percentage of this because one, this is the biggest podcast we have. True. So they gave him a piece of that. And I knew that that would be a galvanizing moment for Shannon Sharpe in terms of his empowerment. Here's the real of what's going on over there and why we even got here. Skip Bayless runs that show, and he's always run that show. And by the stripes on his sleeve, he should run that show. Skip Bayless was the first one in that door. Him and Colin Cowherd, both leaving ESPN to come start FS1, right? So you got to give him respect for that in terms of the daily shows. With that risk comes a great reward, including the power that Skip Bayless has. Not only does Skip Bayless make the most money over there, but he has the most power in terms of how he runs his show. Colin runs his show, but also Colin will be a little more open-minded into the terms of his show. A little more, but not Skip. Oh, no, no, no. So here's the problem. That's not the problem. Skip is here. Shannon started here, used the relationship with Skip Bayless to get there, right? And then Shannon started to get way more popular. How about this? More popular than Skip Bayless, some would say. Based on the podcast numbers, the new generation numbers, social media numbers, like Shannon is popping, even more than you, Skip. So when you're doing this in your real world, in your outer show world, but inside the borders and structure of the show you're on, that's giving you all this jet fuel, nothing's changing. Even when you surpass Skip Bayless, you still have to be under him in terms of the show. Other than the disrespect, and I shouldn't even say other than, in addition to the disrespect that we've seen multiple times from Skip Bayless, told the dude to put his damn glasses on, and he put them on. Shannon had multiple times had to ask Skip, can he talk? Like, they're not talking like friends. They're not even talking like friends that are beefing. They're talking like strangers, like in a way. And Skip knew he can always talk to Shannon, the Hall of Famer, the 3-time Super Bowl champion, because he knew he controlled the show. But more than that, Skip also felt that he could control the show and control Shannon's job security. That's why this has now come to a head, because Shannon finally just smelled the roses, finally just took a big inhale and was like, dog, why do I have to deal with all of this? We have the incidents, obviously. We know when we went back to the Hamlin tweets. We know we got the incidents with Tom Brady. We can go through that, but watch my old video 4 months ago if you want to know about all that. What I'm telling you right now And I am not a prognosticator like an expert. I can't just predict this stuff. But I can look at simple, tried truths. I can look at human emotions and relationships and simply just come to a summation. This wasn't hard to figure out if you had the proper information. Because I used to work there, I was privy to that information that most of you guys weren't. So putting this all together, what happened was there was a power struggle. There was a power dynamic that shifted right before their very eyes, and they didn't want to adjust to. And I say they because I'm sure that Shannon wanted to adjust it. It's just Skip was stuck in his ways. So now Skip is going to be stuck without the uber popular co-host named Shannon Sharpe.